Hey guys, we're back tonight, and I just want to give you kind of a quick little message here. We're going to be in Revelation chapter 1. We're talking about mysteries and what's more important than the mysteries that we might find in the Bible. And I do believe there's something more important than things that are unknown, because there are many times that God teaches us something, but maybe he doesn't explain fully, or maybe there's things that we're not going to know until we get to heaven. That's just the way it is. Sometimes we just have to trust the Lord. So, as we look into some mysteries, I'm going to point out something that I believe is more important biblically than mysteries. So, I want to show you over here with uh, Revelation chapter number 1. So, of course, we know this is John. He is speaking here about going up, and he's going to be seeing the Lord. However, as he writes here, it says here, write the things. So we do see that God Almighty is telling him to write the things which you see. All right. He says, I am he that liveth. This is Jesus speaking. Write the things which you see. And it says the mystery. There's things that we may not know. It talks about the seven stars. It talks about what I believe could be angels or pastors and churches, right? All these things comes on down through. It talks about the Nicolaitans, which I believe the Nicolaitans to be just kind of a church pyramid scheme. But the Nicolaitans, but there are some things that we may not find out until we get to heaven. There's plenty of mysteries in the Bible. People like the book of Revelations because it's full of mysteries, full of the unknown. You talk about the beasts, you talk about the pit and the scorpions that sting, all these mysteries that happen. He says this, he talked about Satan's seat. Man, there's been sermons preached about Satan's seat, and where Satan dwelleth. If we could take a survey trip or a missions trip to find out where that is, I'm sure some people even have some opinions about it. But in the end, I think there's many things that we find about the Bible that are just going to be mysteries. We may not know. I believe if you look back here, it's even let's find out here. He that hath this, when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead, and he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, and this is him saying it unto me, fear not. I am the first and the last. I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive. Well, this is Jesus Christ. This is God speaking. Amen. Write these things. He's speaking to John. So again, this is God writing, Jesus writing. Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be after you. The mystery. Write down the mystery. Again, this is Jesus speaking about a mystery. So there may be things that he's not ready for us to know. Just write it down, understand it, but you're not going to fully understand it. So what do I mean by I think there are some things that are more important than mysteries? I don't believe that Jesus expects us to understand everything. I don't think he honestly wants us to understand everything. Sometimes we just have to trust him on what he says. But I'm going to take you to a spot in the Bible that I believe is more important than the mysterious unknowns. Now, we as humans, we want to know all the mysterious things. We want to dig down deep and figure out why these things happen, who did it, why did it, and so forth and so on. So we want to know these things. And many times we do this to our detriment or to our destruction because we end up making up things that have never been there. You look at Mormonism, you look at Jehovah's Witness. They try to explain things, but in the meantime, while trying to explain things, they make up all these new doctrines, all these new belief systems, and that's not it. So sometimes we just have to trust the Lord that he knows, write down the mystery so we know there is a mystery, but then what's the purpose for us, right? So we should see these things, understand these things. But let's turn over to Ephesians chapter 4. It's something that I believe is more important than mysteries. So let's go to chapter 4 here. All right, we're going to zoom in here. Let's go here. Chapter 4 of the book of Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 4. Let's look here. Paul speaks, he says, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you. This word beseech is the idea of intense begging, like I'm asking you, please do this. If I ask my wife, which is right over here, if I say, I beseech you, make me a cup of coffee, She may ask me if I actually need a cup of coffee, but she would probably say, okay, if I beseech her. I don't think I've ever beseeched her. Have I ever beseeched you for a cup of coffee? I have beseeched her. Okay, she says I have beseeched her for a cup of coffee. But here we find it says, I beseech you for some particular purpose. What is that? That you walk worthy. Walk worthy. Let me turn on my pointer stick here. So walk worthy. Walk worthy. Walk worthy of Jesus Christ. No, it doesn't say that. Walk worthy of God. No, it doesn't say that. How are we supposed to walk worthy, and walk worthy of what? Walk worthy of the vocation, the job, the place and where we're working. Walk worthy, we're in the vocation. What job do you have as a Christian? Well, you're supposed to let your light shine. Your actions, your lifestyle, you're supposed to have a vocation. Your vocation, your main job is not electrician. Your main job is not a driver. Your main job is not what you think it is. Your main job is a Christian, and you need to walk worthy of that vocation. It says here, how do we do it? It gives us a list here. Let's look at this list. I numbered them. Ready? Number one, lowliness. We could talk about humility. It talks about meekness, right? It talks about long suffering. Long suffering. When someone does something so much they get under your skin and you just can't hardly stand the person. Well, that's what this word is put here for. Because Paul, he knew how much people would get under our skin. I mean, there's people going here that are Jewish people, trained in Jewish schools, being in the Jewish religion, and here comes some dirty, unhealthified, you might say, uncleansed Gentile, and he comes in and he's in church with them, and all these people are mixing together, and it just gets under your skin, and you just cannot stand some people. Well, I believe he wrote this for that purpose, that exact purpose. He says, with all lowliness and meekness and long suffering, forbearing one another in love. Not just putting up with somebody, but showing love to those people that you have to put up with. You know those people that drive you nuts, the people that drive you crazy? What would it take for you to show love to that person? It'd be tough. It'd be real tough. But that's what this is written for. It says here, endeavoring. I preach this quite a bit, and we're going to have to probably preach this more and more as the days go by. We've got several months left before we make it back to Serbia there. But one of the things that you can do is endeavor. Endeavor does not mean it's going to be easy. Endeavor means actually it's going to be very, very difficult. Difficult to get along, to be humble, to let go of that pride, to get along with each other. Endeavor to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Now, this right here. You could talk about mysteries. You could talk about doctrines. You could talk about a lot of things, but I want to be straight up with you. When I have seen churches fall apart, when I've seen them destroyed, when I've seen them fall apart, I guess you could say, for lack of better words, haven't seen it too often. It happened because of doctrine. It does happen, but it seems like the majority of times that these things fall apart is because of unity. It's because the not endeavoring to keep the unity in the Spirit, the bond of peace. So we have a church right here in our hometown, right here where we're at right now, and they've disbanded. They have shut their doors and they're selling the building. I don't think, from what I understand of that situation, I don't think it was because of doctrine. I think they all believe the same thing. But it sounds like, from what I've heard, and the reason why they've shut the doors is not because of doctrine, it's because of unity, personalities. They just could not get along. For one reason or the other, they just couldn't make it work, and so they gave up. I'm telling you, if the devil's going to attack us, if he's going to get in and destroy us, I don't believe he can hurt us with a doctrine. I believe we are where we are, and we teach what we teach, and we have a good foundation. But I think where he can sneak in and where he can destroy is, I believe every time he's going to attack by personality, he's going to attack by just people. not by doctrine necessarily, but because of people. And so that's what worries me the most is the different personalities we have. We have people in our church from all over the world. And as we come together, we've got different preferences. We like things done this way, and we like things done this way. There's nothing necessarily inherently wrong or doctrinally different, but it's just perspective. And it's personality. Some are more forward, some are more laid back. And the things that we do with each other, they can rub us raw, you know? And I believe that's where the devil's going to sneak in. He's going to try to destroy even a little work like what we have here. So I want to encourage you as you move forward in your Christian walk, even in church, in our church. I want you to be careful. Think about where the devil would want to attack the most. And again, I don't believe it's going to be in doctrines and beliefs, but it's going to be in personality. If he can destroy us, he'd love to do that. So we've got to protect our minds, protect our hearts. Every time you come to church, every time you get together, you got to pray before you go. Pray before you get out of the car. Say, Lord, help me. Give me the right spirit. Give me the right strength to make it through this time. Because when you come to church, when you're around other people, they're sinners and they're messed up and they're coming because they're not perfect. And when you put a bunch of imperfect people together, you're going to get perfect problems. Can I say that? And so it's going to happen week after week after week. And I pray for you that you can continue with lowliness. Look at that. Lowliness, meekness, long suffering, and to forbear one another in love, and endeavor to keep the unity of the spirit of in the bond of peace. I don't believe that Paul wrote this out of accident or just, I wonder if they'll have problems with this. No, he knew that they would have problems with this. He wrote this because he's seen churches already struggle with this, with what are they called? They're called the pagans and the um, what do they call the barbarians, the Scythians, the Jews, the religious people all together from different backgrounds. Of course, there's going to be problems. So, so pray. So before you go to church, before you get together with other Christians, before you do anything, I mean, you ought to just spend some time with the Lord. Say, Lord, help me. It's going to be difficult. Help me make it through. Give me humility. Give me lowliness of mind. Give me meekness. Lord, give me patience. Help me to endeavor to keep the spirit of unity and the bond of peace. And I believe when we ask the Lord to do that, I believe he'll help us do that. And so I just wanted to share that with you today. We started with the book of Revelations because I wanted to show you that things that we really enjoy in many ways don't matter that much. But what does matter is taking truth and carrying it into the next generation. Now, we've got probably 70, 80 years with our generation before we're born and or died. So we've got some years there to carry it from point A to point B. And the only way we're going to pass down our faith from point A to point B is in unity. If we can't manage the simple things, how can we manage the hard things? So I just want to encourage you. Like, again, most people, we love the mysterious, dark things of the Bible, but many times we skip over the plain, simple commandments. Unity. Follow what I've said. Give unto others. Be kind unto those. You know, we talk about the book of Proverbs. Do unto others as you'd have them to do unto you. All these different golden rules that we find, the concepts are in the Bible for sure, if maybe not the word for word ideas. So anyways, I'll leave you with that. I thank you. May God bless you. And it's an endeavor. It means endeavor doesn't mean it's easy. Endeavor means difficult. It's going to be hard. We're praying for you. Stick in there. We hope to bring you some new messages, different pastors that we're going to meet along the way. We think it's going to be a blessing. We hope it can be a blessing. Stay firm, stay solid, and we'll see you soon. We love you guys. Talk to you next.